Today is a very special episode of Lucas E. Allen Productions. You want to know why, ladies and gentlemen? It's first ever podcast I'm doing live in a hotel right now. I know, kind of crazy. I was really doing my, basically recording at one of my friend's house. He helped me to the studio and everything. Or his office, to say at least. Let's say at least I'm inside. It was a lot of, I don't want to say it's soundproof hotel. It's made kind of more basically soundproof than the place I was staying at previous to basically the live studio, to say at least. What is going on, everybody? Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Lucas E. Allen Productions on YouTube and all audio platforms. Lucas E. Allen Show, which your NFL Week 9 2025 Power Rankings for your Wednesday, or excuse me, your Thursday, October 30th, 2025, your Halloween Eve, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a nice Thursday afternoon, remember, maybe as always. And go to your top 16 NFL week 16. What is week 16? Oh my God! Your top 16 NFL week 9 teams that are going into this week. So it takes place tonight, the Thursday Night Football between the Baltimore Ravens and also the Miami Dolphins. And Lamar Jackson's coming back, I believe, for this game. So we're going predictions probably sooner rather than later, to say at least. Probably sometime later on today, to say at least, right before Thursday Night Football. Hopefully, knock on wood. If not, I don't want to tell you for predictions this week, to say at least, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into the sale. Starting with number 16, Jumbo, please. And by the way, before I get that, follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Lucas E. Allen. Watching today's podcast on YouTube, hit the like button on today's podcast. Hit the subscribe button if you've done so already. Turn the bell for our post notifications. I'm going to upload on YouTube. And leave a comment thinking my NFL Week 9 Power Rankings for 2025. Watch on Spotify, do the same thing. Leave me a comment thinking my Power Rankings for this week. And also a 5-star rating would be nice as well. Now, let's get right into your number 16 Power Rankings this week. Jump up, please. Number 16, guys, I'm sadly, everybody, for Packer fans, even including myself, the Chicago Bears. Yeah, even though they came up a loss last week against the Lamar Jackson-less Baltimore Ravens team, I thought originally had the Texans in the spot, but I only put in like under 500 teams in the power rankings. Like the Texans will beat the Broncos this week. I think they will, honestly. It may be an upset pick of the week for me. I think the Texans about to be like number 14 for next week if they win this week at bare minimum. But sadly, Chicago Bears number 14 for the 16 for this power rankings for this week. You know, now great performance against the awful defense of the Baltimore Ravens. And against the obviously without Lamar Jackson, basically. They lost 30-16. Not great if you're a Chicago Bears fan there. But there's a lot of guys out on defense as well, just like the Baltimore Ravens do. So I'm going to give them the benefit of that just for one more week, man. They lose this week against who they playing this week? Who are the Bears playing this? Oh, they're playing the Bengals. I heard Joe Flacco is kind of injured there, too. So if you lose to a basically banged up 41-year-old Joe Flacco or even like Jake Browning, you're cooked, Chicago. You're definitely cooked for this season, to say at least. But sadly, Chicago Bears number 16 for this week's power rankings. Not top 15, I'll jump to number 15. Number 15, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who came coming off their bye last week. I didn't go over any predictions I did last week. I did predictions, but I'm not going to go over the power rankings predictions I had last week. But say the Jacksonville Jaguars come off a bye week. Nothing else is coming about them. They're still a top 15 football team. They're placing, I believe, the Las Vegas Raiders in Allegiant Stadium this week. So nothing more to say about the Jacksonville Jaguars other than that for this week. So that's for number 15. No, it's to be potentially a 5-3 team, man, going into week 10 next week. Even if they lose against the Raiders, it's still probably outside the power rankings, so you can say at least. But number 15 got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not top 14, Joe. Jumbo, please, number 14. Number 14 got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who lost to my Green Bay Packers in Sunday Night Football. I'll be honest, the game was freaking, it was good for a Packers fan like me. As like a normal NFL fan, was kind of disappointing to a point. It was obviously going to elephant in the room. Aaron Rodgers going against his former team, the team that drafted him basically at number 25 in 2005 NFL draft. My goodness, man. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers passed the torch to Jordan Love and be the franchise quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. I love to see him. Jordan Love, man. Round of applause, everybody. I got no round of applause, but still. What a fucking performance Jordan Love did on Sunday night. 362 passing yards and 143 of those, including 3 touchdown passes. 2 of them went to Tucker Kraft. What a freaking guy is Tucker Kraft. He was all hands on deck against Pittsburgh last night, or at least Sunday Night Football. Man, oh freaking man. What a performance from Tucker fucking Kraft and Jordan Love. And Micah Parsons put on pressure. I feel like every defensive snap I got the Packers, I feel like I saw Micah Parsons making another play like he always freaking does. It's quite insane, man. Quite insane. Micah Parsons, why we trade for him. That's why we trade for him. And that nice, indeed, game-changing pass rusher on the defensive side of the ball. We're getting to Packers a little bit at the top of the edge of this power rankings this week. We're going to get into it a bit, though. The Steelers, though, not a great performance. I mean, Rodgers is not that bad. They sucked in the second half. The Packers destroyed the Steelers in the second half. Like, the Steelers were up 16-7 at halftime, and they lost 35-25. Not great for a Pittsburgh Steelers fan either. And they faced number one team in power rankings this week, isn't in the Indianapolis Colts this week. I spoiled that right there. I don't give a shit. Number 14 got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not top 13, no, German piece number 13. Number 13, you got the San Francisco 49ers. Who did they face? Oh, they lost to the Houston Texans last week at NRG Stadium in Houston. Not great, not ideal, honestly. That was against CJ Stroud. I know he was division leader for AFC South last couple years. Might not have this year, probably the Indianapolis Colts. Must have a historic collapse, and knowing the Colts can do something like that, but still. As long as they have Jonathan Taylor healthy, that team is going absolutely nowhere. Especially Daniel Jones potentially being comeback player of the year. But number 413 got the San Francisco 49ers, who did not play a great performance last week. Mac Jones, I don't know if his stats off the top of my head. I'm going to look this up right now when I think about it. Let's look up NFL stats right now, ladies and gentlemen. NFL passing stat. I'm not that. Actually, no, I'm not going to look it up right now. I'm not going to look right now. But I think he had a couple of interceptions, I believe. But with CJ Stroud, they put up a good performance, so to say. He's not in this week's power rankings with the Texans. By next week, though, they beat the Broncos. The 49ers, number 13, not a great performance against the Houston Texans. It was just one game, though. This is probably just one game for them to say, at least. Mac Jones is still playing like a very good, underrated backup quarterback in the National Football League. Number 13 got the San Francisco 49ers. Not top 12, though. Jumbo season number 12. Number 12, we got the Los Angeles Chargers, who came off a destroying in the Minnesota Vikings on last week's edition of Thursday Night Football against the Vikings, also in SoFi Stadium. Man, oh man, Vikings. Yikes. Yikes. He went from Sam Darnold playing still like he was last year with the Seattle Seahawks to basically like a combination of J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and who else was they playing? Max Brosser, I think a rookie or something like that. He doesn't play much, but still, basically J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz. Not great if you're a Minnesota Viking fan at all. But the Chargers destroy the Vikings. I love to see it. I was just a Packers fan. I hate the fucking Vikings. Can't stand them. Those scully bitches, I like to call them, man. Now they're last in the NFC North. They were potentially be division winners last year. But they lost to the Lions, obviously, in Week 18. And then they blew it, obviously, in the wild card against the Rams. And my goodness, man. Not great if you're a Vikings fan. But Chargers, and I'm going back to the Chargers here. Very good performance on Thursday night last week. Put up 37 points against a very good defense of the Vikings. Got to give credit to the Vikings defense. But still, the Chargers from a pretty good football team. They bounced back from a week previous loss against the Colts and everything else. So number 12 for this week's power. He's on top 11. No, Joe, please, number 11. Number 11, you got the Seattle Seahawks, who just like the Jacksonville Jaguars are coming off a bye. So just speaking about Sam Darnold, man. The guy is doing so freaking good. We thought that'd be like a one-trick pony last year because he was under a good offensive coordinator and also like Kevin O'Connell, the head coach. But basically, it's their offensive coordinator. You get the point there. But still, Sam Darnold still picked back that momentum he picked up last season. And they got the Vikings to 14 wins, obviously a wild card loss against the Rams. But still, Seattle Seahawks is still a very good football team. I was kind of wrong about them. I thought Darnold would not be a one-trick pony, man. I thought they could be back to the school Sam Darnold ways somewhere else in Seattle, not compare it to Minnesota. But say the least, Sam Darnold's still doing pretty well, man. Gotta give credit to Sam Darnold, to say the least. And Seattle Seahawks, number 11 on my power rankings this week. Not top 10, though. Jumbo, please, number 10, to say the least. I got to plug in my charger here to say the least. Jumbo, please, number 10, to say the least. Number 10, you got the New England Patriots, who I believe they beat the Cleveland Browns last week. Very favorable schedule from year and out for the Patriots. I believe they got I think one of the games with the Buccaneers, also Bills, and another game after that they could lose. But I don't know who they face this week. I think they face, who the hell did they face? They faced the Titans already. Who the fuck did the Patriots face? I'm like drawing a blank here, people. Patriots. I look up the damn schedule, man, on Google. Here we go. My freaking internet. The internet's not the greatest here. I hope you all can hear me, obviously. The internet's not the greatest here in this hotel, say at least. Let's try Patriots schedule, man. Patriots face the Falcons this week. That's right. They got the Super Bowl 51 rematch, and not they have Tom Brady or Matt Ryan at either side, but still. It's always going to be Michael Penix Jr. against Drake May. Battle of the 2024 draft class. There you go, man. Should be an interesting game to say. The Falcons are not doing a great, so all Kirk Cousins last year get by the Dolphins. That's kind of embarrassing for them in their home stadium. But then again, around Michael Penix Jr., Kirk Cousins are kind of washed at this rate, but it is what it is. He's going to eat that bad money for the Atlanta Falcons and Kirk Cousins. But to say at least, the Patriots are a top 10 football league team in National Football League at Week 9 NFL season. It's not top 9, not to say at least. Patient number 9. Number 9, you have the Los Angeles Rams, just like the Seahawks and Jaguars, coming off a bye. I believe Puka Nacua is playing this week. I forgot who they play this week, the Rams. Oh, they played the Saints. They're probably even have to play Puka Nacua. Rams can play Devontae Adams and stuff like that against a very bad team, the New Orleans Saints. It is bad times for the New Orleans Saints. Another time to start Tyler Shaw against the Rams this week. Not a great start against a very good defense of the Rams, led by Jared Verse and company like that. Kobe Turner. But to say at least the Rams number 9 in my power rankings this week, they're still a very good football team, obviously. Great defense. One of the better offensive duos in the wide receiver position, Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. So there you go, Rams number 9 in my power rankings. Not top 8, though. John, please, number 8. Number 8, so you got the Denver Broncos, who we destroyed the Dallas Cowboys last week. And just like the Vikings, I'd love to see the Cowboys, even more than the Vikings, get their asses kicked. I love it, bro. I love it. The Cowboys, Dak Prescott could mention to be MVP candidate. I'll be honest, Dak's having a great season, in all seriousness. But the defense is putrid. It's putrid. 44 points to the Broncos. The Broncos still have a good offense, even better defense. So I wish Patrick Surtain nothing but the best if he was injured. We're going to be out for a couple weeks to say at least, not for the whole season. But the Broncos, thank you, Denver, for very much destroying those Dallas Cowboys for me. I very much appreciate it. Not that I beat them this year. I always want to tie with them, but still. The Broncos are great. They're a very good football team. To me, what about the Chiefs or potentially be the winners of this division or the Chargers? No, I think I'm going to pick the Broncos. I'm still going to pick the Broncos. Not the Chiefs. I don't care if they have Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, all healthy or not. I don't care. They're not the better football team on paper, especially on the defense. I know not Patrick Surtain, don't get me wrong, it's probably a huge loss for Denver for a couple of weeks. But still, they have a bye week coming up, I believe the week after today, or this week, and he needs to play the Texans this week. So there you go. I had the Chiefs above the Broncos in power. We can discuss this about in a little bit, honestly. Probably not next ranking here, honestly. But still, the Broncos are still a very good football team. You can't trust Sean Payton enough to put him. You can see he's better than Andy Reid as a head coach. But he's easily sellable up to a point of being the head coach. This guy was coaching Drew Brees, who was just like neck and neck almost with Patrick Mahomes a little bit for all-time quarterbacks. Not that I'm probably Patrick Mahomes above Drew Brees, but still. It's not that Drew Brees is not a bad quarterback at all. Let's say at least the Broncos are ready for my power rankings this week. It's not top 7, though. Jump, please, number 7. Number 7, you got the spoiler alert, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, who they faced the Buffalo Bills this week. Bills fans, you might want to, you beat them a lot in the regular season. I hope the Chiefs honestly beat the Bills, though. Just so happenly, just so you can finally get the Bills to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. If not somebody beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, I think the Bills have the best chance to beat the Chiefs. And the Colts are still a freaking phenomenal team. I don't know if we can trust them in the playoffs yet, though, for the Colts. It could definitely be the number 1 seed. They could definitely be the number 1 seed. Also, it'd be Pittsburgh this week and go on for a favorable schedule, but I believe, honestly, with the Chiefs on that schedule, but maybe that Chiefs game is going to be interesting. The Chiefs can be very interesting for Indianapolis. We'll discuss them in a bit, though. But the Chiefs, number 7 for power rankings this week, and still. They still have all their healthy receivers, like I said earlier with the Broncos thing. You got the Xavier Worthy, you got Rasheed Rice, you got Hyla Brown, you got Travis Kelce, the running back, Pacheco. Kareem Hunt's a little bit banged up. That's not a big loss, though. And also, you got Patrick Mahomes, one of the best players in the game. But still, I think the Chiefs are starting to regress a little bit. Even though they're only 5-3, and they still have all their guys healthy. I get that. That's huge for them. But I don't think right now they're the favorites to come out the AFC. I know it's not only they so usually suck in a regular season, only be good enough to play in a regular season and get the number 1 seed, something like that. They'll squeak their way by every game they play. Then it gets on in the postseason and get to the Super Bowl, but they get demolished by the Eagles last year. But still, man, I think the Chiefs could, realistically, just like the third best team in the AFC, according to my power rankings this week. I think the Broncos are better. I think the best team in their own division. I think the Broncos are better. Obviously, the Chiefs are in like the AFC North right now, like the only challenge got to the Steelers. Maybe even the Ravens, Lamar Jackson gets back healthy. But still, man, I think the Chiefs are going to fall off a little bit even more. Not saying they've fallen off drastically. They're still 5-3. Potentially be 6-3 after this week. We ain't find out that though to say at least. Now looking great. They beat up the fucking Redskins without Jaden Daniels. Their commander's in the fucking name. I don't care. They beat up the freaking Commanders/Redskins without Jaden Daniels. Oh, what a fucking congratulations! Want a freaking cookie for that one there, Kansas City? You just in your home stadium nonetheless. And by the way, that stupid fucking dance that Travis Kelce by paying tribute to his goddamn fiance Taylor Swift made me want to fucking hurl up my dinner. How fucking pathetic. Sorry, Swifties, I don't give a shit. I speak from my soul, man, what I feel in my heart, to say at least. And nothing against Taylor Swift. I think she's overrated as a singer, but still. It's just the Swifties get on my fucking goddamn nerves. Kind of like how Cowboy fans and Chiefs fans get on my goddamn nerves, man. Everybody gets on my nerves, honestly, though. It's a lot to say at least. But still, Chiefs number 7 for power rankings this week. Now, top 6 still, John Police number 6. Probably pissed off a lot of people with this one. Number 6, you got my Green Bay fucking Packers. Yeah, they're better than the Chiefs right now. I don't care. What have they done? The Chiefs beat up the one when they felt they have decent credibility was against the Lions. They fell against the Eagles. They fell against the Chargers. What else we want? They obviously beat, honestly. They beat the Ravens, but again, that's about basically all Lamar Jackson about the second half of that game. Like, what are you going to do? What's their credible win other than the Lions? That's only one. They fell against the Eagles. What else they beat? Probably not on my list here. I'll go over it right now. Yeah, I got the Bills in face until this week. Got the Buccaneers in face. Packers don't face. Broncos, Rams, Patriots, Seahawks, Chargers. Like, all these wins are not credible at all. They lost against the Jaguars who are on this list too. Like, none of these wins are, like, credible, other than the Lions one. That I'll give them credit for. But still, none of the other wins are credible. So the Packers have much more credible wins here. They beat the Steelers. They're probably might be a playoff team. They still find a way. And they Lamar Jackson back healthy for the Ravens. And you get the Packers who beat the Lions. They beat the Lions too in their home stadium too. They beat who else they beat? They have beaten I believe they've beaten somebody else on this list too. Look at me now, but still the defense looks a lot better than the freaking Chiefs. It really does. Look at it. And Micah Parsons, Chris Jones is kind of like that position for the Chiefs, but still. You get the point. They're just slightly above the Chiefs. I don't have the Packers number 1. I don't. But seriously, the Packers are number 6 in my power rankings this week. They're not the top 5 team. They're not a top 5 team right now, right though. General Police number 5. Number 5, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another Bay team. You have the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Coming off a win, I believe. Did they pick up a win? Or were they on a bye? Oh, that's right. They beat the Saints. Basically a bye, though, honestly. The Saints are a putrid team. So there you go. If I hear my cat, though, he has a very nasal shit to say. He says, no, this is not the greatest to say, at least. So I hear my cat there. Or I heard him again there, too. It's like he cursing me out, man. His name is Bolt, obviously. Number 5, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the top 5 football team in the National Football League, one of the best teams in the NFC. Obviously, you got Baker Mayfield, who should be the MVP. If it's not Jonathan Taylor and you want to give it to a quarterback, you give it to Baker Mayfield. Honestly, I'll just give it to Jonathan Taylor. I don't care if you got Offensive Player of the Year or not. It kind of confuses me. Probably create some outside quarterbacks. I get it, honestly, but still not at the same time. But still, Buccaneers, if you're not giving the MVP to Jonathan Taylor, you give that to Baker Mayfield, not Patrick Mahomes. This man threw interceptions to the fucking putrid Redskins defense. When you explain anything else, he threw 2 picks. Like, what is the hype for Patrick Mahomes being an MVP this year? Nothing. He has weapons, or a lot of weapons. Baker Mayfield has basically no weapons other than Ibuka. Most of the year. Mike Evans from Messi right here, basically, Chris Godwin as well. There you go. Give the MVP. You're not getting the Jonathan Taylor, which I think they should. They probably won't because he's a running back and not a quarterback. You give it to fucking Baker Mayfield. So you're between him or Jonathan Taylor for me. I'll go with Jonathan Taylor. But I know the National Football League won't do that. I'll probably give it to the quarterback. We'll give it to Baker Mayfield. Not Patrick Mahomes. Don't fucking do that. That'd be stupid. The Steelers, the Buccaneers are a top 5 football team this week, not a top 4. General Police number 4. Number 4, you got the Buffalo Bills, who made all the people wrong, basically, by destroying the Carolina Panthers. Granted, the Panthers didn't have Bryce Young. It's an upgrade or a downgrade, honestly. Andy Dalton is washed at this rate, but I think he's slightly, at least some on the level of Bryce Young, you'll think. But so the Panthers not even that believable for a 4-3 team out. They barely beat the Jets by 1 touchdown. Don't you explain any more other than that? I know, I don't. But the Bills just did their job destroying the Carolina Panthers in Carolina, to do North Carolina, say at least. It was like, 40 to 6, something like that? 43 to 6, something like that? Not a great day to be a Panthers fan that day, to say at least. But still, the Bills are a top 4 team in the National Football League. Just not top 3, General Police number 3. Number 3, you got the reigning defending Super Bowl 59 champion Philadelphia Eagles, who beat the living, I'm not saying they beat the crap out of the Giants, but still, it's a 3-possessing blowout game. Which, by the way, on the Giants side, we wish Cam Scattered with a rookie. I believe he had 3 touchdowns in the other game against the Eagles when they're in New Jersey. Wish that man had the best. That looked freaking brutal, the hit he took. Oh my god, that looked freaking brutal if you're a New York Giant fan. Then he's been out for the rest of the year and probably going to be semi-active in OTAs next season for 2026. I wish that man all the best. Because, my God, him and Jackson Dart could potentially be a semi-good quarterback and running back duo for years to come. If Jackson Dart can be that franchise quarterback and unites a nice complementary piece around him like Cam Scatterboo, that'd be huge so we can come back healthy next season for the Giants. Especially if Malik Neighbors back healthy. The team is banged up. They lost Scatterboo. They also lost Malik Neighbors. Obviously lost a ton more guys on defense too, to say at least, but still. From on to the Eagles standpoint, they didn't make a trade this past couple of days from now, or this past days from previous. From the Jets, get Michael Carter, second cornerback position. I kind of like that pickup. And also traded John Mechie like some pick swap there to the Jets. Didn't mind that trade for Eagles. A lot more better cornerback depth to say he's going to be a Super Bowl contender, obviously. Don't mind that pickup for the Jets, or the Eagles or Jets, honestly. The Eagles still top 3 football team in National Football League. Just not number 2, though. Jumbo, please, number 2. Number 2, we get the Detroit Lions, who come off a bye just like the Seahawks, the Rams, and Jaguars. A lot of teams were on a bye last week for some strange reason, man. But the Lions, something must explain here. It's still a top 2 football team and played number 2 for this week's power rankings. When they face, who they face this week? They face, the Minnesota Vikings. There you go. I believe they're bringing back J.J. McCarthy, I believe. So there you go for that to say at least, Vikings. Not that it's an upgrade or a downgrade. It's probably right in the middle of the Carson Wentz, but still. The Lions, number 2 for my power rankings. They're not number 1, though. Y'all see what that is, people. Number 1, you can join, please, anyways. Number 1, you got the Indianapolis Colts. Well, obviously, who do they face this past week? Oh, they face the Titans, obviously. They sweep the Titans. The sweep mentality for Indianapolis, sweeping the Titans, man. Like I said, the Baker Mayfield thing, you're not giving that to Jonathan Taylor. I don't know what else you better give it to Baker Mayfield. But I don't want to be honest. Screw Baker Mayfield at this way. You give that shit to Jonathan Taylor. He is literally carrying this Colts team to a 7-1 record. And Daniel Jones is not having a bad year. He's a very better quarterback. He's being freaking great, Daniel Jones. He's not in level with Jonathan Taylor in offense, but he's definitely up there. To me, it kind of reminds me of Josh Jacobs to a point and Jordan Love. We all know Jacobs is a better player than Jordan Love. But still, Daniel Jones is holding his own as a quarterback. Same thing that Jordan Love with the Packers. He being a better performance of the Packers with Jordan Love. And Matt almost 360 yards. But enough about the Packers, the Colts, man. This team come in bottom of the barrel going in this year. We all thought that. But this is probably the most shocking surprise in NFL history. For the whole season, at least this team has getting up to this level, at least number 1 spot. I never would have thought the Colts would be number 1 for not just 1 week, not just 2 weeks, but 3 weeks. I mean, damn, they are freaking flying the world on fucking fire. You gotta love that for that fan base, man. Love that for but nothing against the Colts at all, man. We kind of beat them a lot, honestly. Kind of feel bad. The last time we beat them was last year against Anthony Richardson. But now you got Daniel Jones. And Jonathan Taylor, that's your MVP. If you're not getting anybody else, you better give it to Baker Mayfield then. But I think you should give that shit to Jonathan Taylor. He was supposed to be most valuable player of the year. That's the MVP award stands for, most valuable player. And Jonathan Taylor's doing just that for the Colts. He is by far the best player. Daniel Jones has not been bad at all. He's been actually pretty good this year. Comeback player of the year. He could be comeback player of the year. I mean, mind that at all. Or that him or Dak Prescott, honestly. But still, man, the Colts are 7-1. Could be 8-1. They beat the Steelers this week. Kind of fucking crazy, if you ask me, man. So going to my power rankings for this week, this sale is going back for number 16. You got the Chicago Bears. Number 15, got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 14, got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 13, got the San Francisco 49ers. Number 12, we got the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 11, you get the Seattle Seahawks. Number 10, you get the New England Patriots. Number 9, you get the Los Angeles Rams, 2 Los Angeles teams. At number 8, you get the Denver Broncos. Number 7, you get the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 6, you get the Green Bay Packers. Number 5, you get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 4, you get the Buffalo Bills. Number 3, you get the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2, you get the Detroit Lions. Number 1, you get the Indianapolis Colts for power rankings this week. As always, let me know in the comment section below what you think of my power rankings for Week 9 on Spotify and YouTube. And as always, people, I'll catch y'all next time. So, look, peace out, everybody. I'm going to love you all. Take care. Love you all big time, to say the least.